Bonjour and welcome to all of you comic book geeks, readers and collectors to an unusual video in my oeuvre. Did you like that word? Look it up. I had to. It's regarding a 12 issue, do we call it maxi series when it reaches 12 issues? It's The Human Target, Black Label, DC, and I know it's old news. I know this straddled 2020, the whole of 2022. So I know this is old news, but I picked this up. I am not a DC collector of old. I'm catching up now, doing my best to kind of rectify. I've been a Marvelite all my life, so now I'm collecting these maxi series, and I've had a few from Tom King. He seemed to have done a run of them, and then there was a Batman one that Warren Ellis did with Brian Hitch and my old mate Paul at my LCS Comics and Fantasy, Hornchurch, Essex. Hello, darling. He's been sorting me right out. He knows what I'm going to like or what I might want to take a risk on. And every now and again I say, oh no, Paul, no. You know, I know I'm trying to balance things out nowadays, but no, that one's not for me. This one I was intrigued with because the artwork firstly looks stunning, and I was enjoying the other Tom King ones that I bought. I think it was I've got them around the year. What was it? Final Crisis, and there was another one he did. Did he do a? Oh, anyway, and he uses what I like about Tom King during this period of his career, doing these maxi series, is he loves playing. I think I've mentioned this in one of my other videos. He loves playing with all of the characters available to him. He really enjoys it. And I wasn't familiar with The Human Target. I may have read a Vertigo miniseries. That's the only point of reference I had for this character. So what I'm going to say to you is, if you fancy something new and unexpected that is superhero adjacent, because there are superheroes in every issue of this, and it's a different superhero more or less every issue, because the Human Target character has got to investigate basically who poisoned him, and he goes through the Justice League International every issue, different characters every issue. And I was intrigued from the very start, not having known really what I'd forgotten about that Vertigo miniseries that I read years ago. I didn't even know what he could do. I didn't read the Justice League International back in the day. That's what I mean about I'm not a DC collector. I don't know whether that helped me. Well, I fell in love with this series straight away. And through the art and the writing, it's just something completely different, which is what made me want to do this video. Because if you can pick up the trade paperback for this and you just want something completely different, this is for you. But like I say, superhero adjacent. So, and Greg Smallwood's artwork in this is something beautiful to behold. In conjunction with Tom King's writing, when you get a writer and an artist that work, but when you're reading it and you're not thinking about how this was put together, it just flows, and you get to the end of the first issue. It's like reading a book. You get to the end of the first chapter. And talking of books, Tom King, he's written this. And here we go. This is just a little example. And I'm going to do, after the scroll, I'm going to do a deep dive. But I'm just going to show you a couple of covers. Just to tickle that fancy of yours. And he's written this in a very noir style, in a very 40s stroke 50s style, noir, kind of Raymond Chandler-esque. You know, that narration. So sometimes it makes me think of Naked Gun, when Frank Drebin is saying, "Yeah, her thighs made me feel happy that I was a man," or whatever it was he was saying. You know the kind of narration I mean. There was not a narration in this. Look at the design work on some of these covers, and it fits the mood of this piece. And the mood of this piece is obviously set in modern day. What that modern day is, they don't tell you. Do you remember a film called Seven, where you with Brad Pitt and Morgan Freeman, and you knew it was New York or Chicago, and you knew it was present day. It was raining, or it might have been Boston. I don't know, but anyway, you knew it was modern day. But David Fincher never went there. He just let the story unfold as it unfolded, and that's that. They're doing the same here, but the aesthetic of it is squarely in that post-war kind of, I was going to say pre-consumerism, but yeah, it kind of is, but lending into like the marketing that was done. I mean, that's obviously, you know, crash bang wallop, 60s Batman kind of shtick. But the rest of it, it does lend itself. And I'm going to do a deep dive after the scroll, like I say. But stuff like that just sets the tone and the mood. And then when you open it up and you read the story, and it is that noirish narration from him, from the human target, from our main character, including the femme fatale. I loved it. They set the story up in issue 1 versus, and they give you, Tom King gives you everything you need to know. This is what I mean about I've come to this. So if you're kind of thinking, oh, I don't read DC, I've never liked the Human Target, kind of forget all about that, because I come to this as fresh as a daisy. Set up issue 1. Issue 2, intro, femme fatale. And from issue 3, we have to go through all of the suspects in the crime. I loved it. Hence this video. And I hope I've intrigued you a little bit there, because I was thoroughly impressed with this effort from Tom King and Greg Smallwood's artwork and his, I don't even know if that is, obviously I've read Tom King's stuff. Greg Smallwood, I don't even know if this is his style or he's adapted it. In a way, I don't care, because in and of itself, this 12-issue story is an absolute delight. And that's why I just felt compelled to do a little video celebrating it. And I'm going to show you just some little, it's going to be half this preamble, half the little deep dive. And yeah, just to, I don't really want to give away too many spoilers. So I'll make it as light as I can and try and tease you as if I was on commission for DC, Black Label. I'll try and tease you, I'll try and tickle them fancies as much as I can, because it is well worth your time and effort to track this down, either if you can get it in the set, or I don't know if they've done a trade of this, but yeah, I was really impressed. And like I say, if that has intrigued you, please join me after my little scroll, and we'll have a little look at some beautiful, at the very least, beautiful Greg Smallwood artwork, and hopefully I can explain to you a little bit more about what I found really intriguing with the way that Tom King laid this story out. And it isn't just that noirish Raymond Chandler aspect of it, although I did enjoy that. But there's more. Oh, there's more. Okay, ultimately, this is the story of the human target, Christopher Chance, trying to solve the mystery of his death. Yeah, I know that sounds absurd, but he's poisoned. His shtick is that he disguises himself as people that know they're going to be assassinated or know they're going to die, and he takes the bullet for you. Right? Yeah, I know. Forget all that. Basically, what he does here, this is the setup. He's hired by Lex Luthor, and Luthor gets poisoned, and the poison gives basically Christopher Chance 12 days to live. Right, that is our setup, guys. That is our setup, and it is a beautiful thing. And this is all of the Chandler-esque narration. This is what happens in issue 1. We're starting with an alarm clock. Look at the design work that Greg Smallwood is bringing. Like, where are we? Like, what decade are we in? Is it the 40s, 50s, 60s? It's a mishmash. Look at the curtains, the blinds. This is what I mean about the noir and the artwork and the colouring by Greg Smallwood. When he does this a lot with just the shadowing, he doesn't bother draping it along the pear or anything like that. Oh, it's beautiful. It had me at hello, this comic. And we're straight in. He has a meeting with Lex, and Lex can't do a lot about it, and he's obviously not bothered. So now the mystery is afoot. You've got all this, this is all the setup. What is the next thing? In a Chandler-esque noir story, what is next? I'll tell you what's next. It's the femme fatale. And this is the character from DC Comics called Ice. I'm not familiar. Again, guys, honestly, I came to this so fresh. You wouldn't believe it at my age, would you? Geeky old hog coming to this story and all these characters so fresh. Honestly, guys, I'd never read a comic with her in it before in my life. She's the femme fatale in this story, and you know it. But you're sucked straight in. This is Luigi, who owns a pizza. He's like some kind of gangster villain who isn't Italian but calls himself Luigi. And Christopher Chance, aka Human Target, has got his office above his pizza parlour, right? And he's obviously mafioso, right? Ice is in Christopher Chance's office. So look, and he's not Italian. And right, so he's suffering from the poison. He's got 12 days to live because, I should have shown you from issue 1 actually. Is it Doc? What's his name? Doctor from the JLA. He basically gets the diagnosis from. There was him smashing his car. Who is it? You can tell I'm such a DC fan. Dr. Someone, isn't it? Anyway, yeah. He's told him the ingestion of the poison and all the tests he's done. Yeah. And he's going, look, Christopher, I'm sorry. Yeah. He wants him to go to church with him. Yeah, I never knew that. Anyway. So, sorry. Apologies for that. But issue 2, we're introduced to the femme fatale. But where I'm kind of comparing this with Hard Boiled, we get a little bit of backstory of Ice's origin. But where I'm comparing this to Hard Boiled Noir, Raymond Chandler-esque storylines, what Tom King has done is he's made this a kind of look at what Greg Smallwood has done with Tom King is they've made this George Peppard and what's her name from Breakfast at Tiffany's, or he's made it James Garner and Doris Day. This is the shtick that they're going for, because it's not too hard boiled. And there is an element of this entire storyline, which I will show you, where it's only these two characters. Tom King, unless you've got the JLI characters in it, it is, I mean, I think this artwork is beautiful. I think it's stunning. And to make a story flow with two people and keep it interesting and keep the tease going, because it's not like she's the femme fatale that turns up and he goes for it straight away. It's like after 3 or 4 issues, and she's obviously friends. He knows the Justice League International. He knows them all, so he knows he does suspect that, like, you know, what you're doing. Bit of backup for her. But look at this. Look at they've gone to the beach, and she's saying, "Oh, you know, I've got to get a bikini in a hurry," and it's that. Oh, I loved it. Now they're in the sea together, but they're not doing anything particular. But Ice, with her powers, you know, she can do certain things. But her boyfriend is Guy Gardner, the Green Lantern, the Lantern, my ex. Look, they have a little smooch, but that's it. That's all that's done. And he does not stay at hers. He goes home. Look, but like Luigi said, there are some women you can say no to, and some you can't. But he does it. At least I did tell her about that. Yeah. And a quick note on the design of these covers, because it is setting the tone again. We are in that 50s, like I said, that kind of post World War II, pre-consumer age of advertising and consumerism, and wanting us to eat burgers, and, you know, wanting us to buy a fridge, whatever it is. And I know that's it's quite clever there, considering that character's called Ice. It's a beautiful thing what Greg Smallwood has done, and I don't know, they obviously done this. So now we've got the previous issues tease. This issue unravels more of Ice's background, and Guy Gardner turns up because he's not over the fact that his ex, he doesn't believe that Ice is still his ex. So now Christopher Chance, look, he's got his little gun, and look, ding, he's trying to shoot a Green Lantern. Anyway, this issue, basically he gets beaten up by Guy Gardner, and Ice is not happy. Ice is not happy at all. This cover is a beautiful thing. It's obviously 60s Batman, with the Fatangs and the what's it, and the, you know, Tom King, Greg Smallwood, whoop. Love it. But the mystery ensues, and we still haven't, apart from a smooch, we're still not seeing Christopher Chance and Ice really, you know. Now he's going to see Blue Beetle. So basically what's going on between issues 4 and say 10 is he's looking at who would have poisoned Lex Luthor, right? And all of the evidence points to someone in the JLI. They are the only ones that would get the access and the necessary ingredients for this particular type of poison. So all of the JLI are in the frame. It starts with a Blue Beetle, who's obviously another billionaire. I don't know. I'm not big on the Blue Beetle. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not. But he's obviously a billionaire, and he joins them. This entire issue is Christopher Chance joining Ice and Blue Beetle on the superhero trip. But I don't know whether this is a male-centric reader or not. Let me know in the comments, but I'm now falling in love with ice through Christopher Chance. I suppose I'm the right age, I'm the right demographic for this story to work. But I'm pretty sure Tom King isn't my. I think there's more depth to it than that. There is more depth to it. Look, and they're falling asleep, like they're relaxing. So they have had a smooch, they've had a swim, and nothing really serious is going on yet. And they fight some more monsters in this issue and blah blah. And now we see a little bit more. But by now, you're wanting it. This is issue 4. You want, a little touch, a little. You're feeling soppy because you want them to get on. You want them to fall in love. And I admire Tom King for reeling me in. I really do. I admire him for that. Book 5 is more or less a origin issue of Human Target. This is an agent of Ra's al Ghul, from what I can understand, and this is all the young days. So I'll skip that. I will skip that because in book 6, it proper kicks off. Christopher Chance is suspecting Ice and saying that she's not being completely honest. Goes back to the doctor, just to confirm, still on the booze. Why not? If you've only got 12 days to live, it's not like you've got to be careful. And then apologising. But look at the aesthetic. In every one of these issues, there is never any more than 2 or 3 characters. It feels like a fantasy. It unravels as a fantasy. I've bookmarked this because this kicks right off. Guy Gardner comes back because he's still not happy. Ice tells him we broke up, but he's still not happy. And then Ice helps Christopher Chance defeat Guy Gardner. That's how they do it. A bit like Terminator. What was it? Terminator 2, where they froze him. Look, I think I'm falling in love with you. I'm sorry. It's beautiful. And again, you just don't see that there isn't one panel that is ever populated by more. We're back to Luigi again. He's having a chat with him, but there's hardly ever more than a couple of panels populated by more than 1 or 2 people. This is a confrontation, kind of like another noir moment where you've got the chat. You've got the chat that this is an issue where Fire, which is Ice's obviously friend, that is trying to seduce Christopher Chance behind Ice's back. We just don't know why. Look, he's slap, but then bet you want to kiss me now. Look, holding her arm. No, he's not seduced by Fire. He's not. Good boy, because Ice is worth it. He's in the shower, and now so is she. These are the pure noir moments. But he's not stopping her seeing Fire and, being honest about it. And, I don't know, it's just great. Right, all this issue is where they've murdered Guy Gardner, the 2 of them. Basically, he gets kidnapped by, is it Red Tornado, the Russian bloke? Is his name Red Tornado? I think he even says in this issue, what a stupid name is that? Is it Red Tornado, Russian geezer in JLA? Who's Guy Gardner's mate? Basically, this entire issue is just him punching, and there are some beautiful scenes in this, look, where he just takes him up in the air. He just takes him up in the air and just drops him. I thought that was a beautiful thing. And this is where, in each issue, which is another good thing, Tom King brings us right up to speed. So you could have bought this issue, book 8, and that one page brings you right up to speed. I love that about this story. I love it. And I love that double page spread as well. He's only got 12, at this point, he's only got like 4 or 5 days to live. So he's just going, well, so what? You know, you can't beat me at this game. Yeah, brilliant. This entire issue is a beauty. Can you guess who is in this chapter stroke issue? Yes. He doesn't appear. What it is an entirely paranoid. It's a paranoid story. This is beautiful as well. Just told in panels. Just soak that in for one moment. Just told in panels. We are falling in love with these two falling in love. We really are. Tom King has got me by now. Issue 9, before issue 9, he's got me by now. And again, we've still got this 50s, this American 50s stroke 60s thing going on. But again, look at the panels. There is never anything more than him or her or them, or them two. There's never anyone else in a panel. It's just not a populated. It's a lonely existence for everyone. But within it, this is a beautiful thing. And I'm still trying to think of, when I gave the example of Breakfast at Tiffany's, I'm still trying to think of the actress's name. Oh God, I can't be distracted by that, can I? That's going to set me right off. Right, I'll get back to it. So what Christopher Chance believes is going on in this issue, stroke chapter, is that Batman's after him. Batman knows what's going on, and Batman is watching. And he knows what they've done. So they go to a diner, and the narration is that I've spotted that he don't look right, this trucker. And he's wrong. He's just wrong. Look, he gets the first punch in and he's wrong. Look, he's laid him out. And by now he knows, look, that first punch didn't hurt all that much. So he knows it's not Bruce Wayne, or AKA the Batman. And Ice is going, come on, mate, we've got to go. We've got to go. So this is all this is an issue of paranoia. It was great. Then they crash the car. But Ice is still with him. Like Ice, this is what I mean about you're falling in love with the whole thing. You know, in an ordinary world, the woman would be at the right hump. You've crashed the car, you smashed it. You've got to walk across the desert, and she creates an ice home. Ah. But in the next issue, Christopher Chance, he's a bit of a bar steward, and he kind of has a drink with Ice and drugs her to sleep, so he can go meet with Gnault. What's his name? He's obviously in the J, and he's obviously an idiot Green Lantern. He's obviously a comedic Green Lantern. So this is a bit of an interlude. It's a bit of an interlude where Christopher Chance gets to see the Green Lantern records. Gnault gets drunk, or Gnault, whatever his name is. He gets drunk. Gnault, here we go. He gets drunk. He gets into trouble. And he finds out that Guy Gardner didn't die. And again, look at the way the shadow, this colouring is done by Greg Smallwood again. It just lends a it lends a mystery, and it's like the equivalent. It's like the comic equivalent of those black and white noir movies where you'd always have a blind at the window that cut across the lighting. This is kind of Greg Smallwood's equivalent, and I love it. Absolutely love it. Now he's slapping. Look, now he's slapping Nalt, and now he's daring him to a fight without the lantern, without the ring. Sorry. So he lays him out. He lays him out, and again we're back to all the noirish elements, the narration of the fight. And bless her, it's in the middle of it all. But it's all going to come on top. It's all going to come on top, apart from the pretty picture on that cover. What a beautifully designed comic cover. This is gorgeous stuff. Look at all this. This is how we bring it in. Now this issue, what this issue does, the penultimate issue, with Ice's powers of obviously making everything cold, what this issue reminded me of and made me think about the previous issues was it's like a snow globe, where the design of, and I know this design on the cover of the second issue is probably more from TV and advertising in the late 50s, early 60s. But it reminds me of those snow globes that you have to shake and all the flakes fall down. And there's only one single thing at the bottom, whatever the snow globe is designed to show. And for me, it's almost like these two are in a snow globe, and everything else, like there's nothing else in the world that can affect them. Ice has made this platform with the beds, they like going to the beach, and they've obviously fallen in love, and we're hearing, we're kind of reminiscing about, Ice and Fire, and her origin being a bit of a lie as well. But look at what's going on. And the design work that's got, like I say, it is that pure 60s Hollywood, that kitsch or kitsch kind of James Garner, Doris Day, Peppard, and why can't I remember her name? It's driving me up the wall. But look, they're having a little bit of a. She smashes his car. She ices it and says, "Expletive you." That spoils it, doesn't it? Right, the cover on the last issue, guys, and then I'll let you all go. That is a pure Raymond Chandler and all of his ilk cover too. I think this is where Tom King, Greg Smallwood and DC are all saying, look, this is what we've been doing all along. Issue 12, look, this is the hard-boiled noir that we've been going for, and I applaud them for it. And I can't show you too much of this because it's a sad one. You probably, from these pages, know, but you know what it's like in comics. It's not always what it seems, but I'm just going to say, you follow them for 12 issues. These two characters really, really zero in on these two characters, and this is the best thing. If you're still here with me, and I thank you for that, this is the most beautiful thing that Tom King has written. If this was a novel, he'd be getting awards for this, and I don't care what anyone says. He really would. How he fleshed out these characters. Look at the daylight. Look how Greg Smallwood has done just a bit of daylight from a window. It's beautiful. Oh, I just can't. I just can't gush about this enough. Look, this is day 16 after he's gone. You know, she's back with her mate and not happy. Obviously not happy, but it is just a lovely. This last issue is just a beautiful epilogue. A beautiful epilogue to, and I hope I haven't given too many. That was such a great issue, the paranoid issue. That was a great issue, getting drunk, getting gnault drunk, letting the Russian, you know, kill him. What's he got to lose? He's dying in 12 days anyway. Getting beaten up. Origin. Oh, Blue Beetle going on adventures with Ice and he follows them. Oh, Booster Gold. I mean, that was a bit of a, yeah. But anyway, that for me, that is the most beautiful cover that sums up the entire. If they've done a collected edition of these 12 issues, that needs to be the cover. That is the beauty that sums it up, and it is. I still can't think of the actress's name, and I know she hasn't got blonde hair. I know she hasn't. Audrey Hepburn. Thank God for that. So George Peppard, Audrey Hepburn, James Garner, Doris Day, Tom King and Greg Smallwood went for that. And that era, it's not just those two characters. I'm just saying it was a mashup of all of that. And I applaud everyone involved, not just those two, obviously the letterers, editor. Greg Smallwood done all the colouring, beautiful. And if you followed me that far, I hope you enjoyed this really unusual. I had to get this out of my system. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you pick this up. And if you do, or if you've already read it, because I know I'm late in the day, if you've already read it, let me know what you think. Am I going over the top with this? Or did you think it was all right, but, you know, okay, Hog, you know, what's the matter with you? Let me know. Let me know. Or if you didn't like it, why didn't you like it? And the reasons anyway, let me know in the comments, guys. And thank you so much, you sexy, sexy subscribers, you, if you're still here for the very, very end. Let me know. Let me know you're here. Just say, Hog, I was there at the very, very end. And oh no, you was at the very, 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 very end before the last scroll. Adios.